When I see this picture, I get inspired because I want to be somebody like him, not who's standing in front. I think it's time for us to change that picture. But I'm very glad, as Asti said, we're doing this event after 3 years. It's in person. There's a lot for us to learn from, a lot that has happened over the last 3 years. There are a lot of learnings of what should and should not be done when we get into scenarios like the pandemic and so on and so forth. But what is more important, and I think very interesting, as I address you guys and give you my insights, is really what is changing in the landscape. Pa Sutanto said, this ever-increased spread of consumer uptake of digital. He gave some data points of the assets that he has control on and he has visibility on. The idea of doing that was really to set the tone of understanding how the consumer landscape, consumption landscape is changing. And that is of utmost importance for all of you, all of us as an industry, to understand the things that we've been talking about 10 years back, that digital will be the #1 platform, digital will overtake TV, digital will be the go-to platform for advertising, for consumption, for everything that's related to consumer behavior. The reality is, we are already there. We are already there, and a lot more is going to happen. So with that, I wanted to take a couple of minutes just to give you, set the context of what's going to happen over the rest of the day. But before that, there are a few things that I do want you to make a note of. And not that I'm trying to give you any gospel. This is not something that MMA is talking about. But this is something that we've heard from a lot of the marketeers. We are a global organization. We work with the top 200, 500, Fortune 500 companies. We work with brands across markets. We work with the leading industry agencies and so on and so forth. And we conducted a survey, and some of the insights that I wanted to share with you are with context to that. And why it is important? Because I think MMA for sure has a clarity of mission. Our focus is really to significantly improve what the marketing's contribution to the business is. And that to us is a very singular focused mindset of helping grow the business. And whatever we do as an industry body, as a collaboration between all of you coming together and helping MMA do that, is to build that growth narrative. That growth narrative is, we've seen this drastic growth over the last few years. We continue to see this growth as we move forward. And this growth is not going to stop. But there are certain fundamental things that we need to talk about, which is really the share of voice. Are we as an industry getting the right share of voice for all the work that happens? And some of those key nuggets that I wanted to leave you for the rest of the day is some insights that we've learned from the survey that we've done with the marketeers, and something that you should keep in mind, maybe make a checklist as you move forward into your business, as you move forward into the Ramadan time and beyond. What are the certain things that as a industry participant you should be looking out for? So first and foremost is digital marketing. I've already said enough about it. Is exploding. Pa Sutanto talked about it. You all know it. That's the reason why this industry is as big as it is. But skills, capability building is still a concern. And it will continue to be a bigger concern with a lot more technology, lot more MarTech, lot more Web3, etc. that becomes part of it. So when you go back and look at business, look at opportunities, you need to make sure you are looking at building skills before you build technology or after you build technology, because skill sets are something which is not very easy to acquire and very difficult to retain. So digital marketing is growing, but the skills as a barrier to the growth for everybody has to happen. And one needs to go across that. Second, social is the most popular channel right now. And it continues to grow. It continues to grow. And today it's receiving quarter of the budget for every dollar spent. and it's going to grow beyond that. So whenever you are looking at your campaigns, looking at your proposals, looking at media plans, do make sure you keep that in mind. It may not necessarily translate into that particular 25 cents of a dollar, but it is the most popular channel even right now and continues to be. Third, something, again, taking a tea from Pasutanto, multi-screening. I don't think so we are now in that stage or that phase of digital where it was mobile, PC, then mobile, then connected TV, and so on and so forth. There's no singular property that will help build digital. It will all be multi-screening. So when you're looking at your campaigns, keep that in mind. We are now the biggest platform or a media, bigger than TV, bigger than print, bigger than outdoor. And if you are the majority, you will have to feed into all of those channels. That's the only way you will significantly improve your marketing. And this is going to be a reality now, and going forward in 5 years' time is going to be more important to build that into a significant growth from a sales, sorry, I didn't move the slide, from a sales perspective. The next is the new technologies. I hope the slides are moving, right? Yeah. The new technologies, AI and machine learning. We've seen a lot of that in the last 3 months since OpenAI, ChatGPT, etc. has happened. ChatGPT was just an inference of the industry starting to realize what happened. It's not new. It has been there for the last few years, actually last 4 or 5 years. That was just one product which made all of us jump up in our seats and say, holy shit, this is a reality. But it has been there for the last 4 years. A lot of work has gone into it. That is just one product. But please understand, whenever you are doing your campaigns, your business plans, keep in mind a lot more of this technology innovation, OpenAI, etc. is going to happen. And it will definitely impact the business within the next 2 years. A significant impact. So when you are looking at generative AI creatives, it's going to be a reality. The first regenerative AI creative was launched in US 2 months back. Now that poses a question, what happens to the creative agencies and what happened to the creative? Nothing will happen. They will all sustain. They will all grow with each other. It is not at the risk of employment or skills. As long as you acquire those skills to make it better. Machine will not be able to do the emotional judgment of a creative. Will never be able to. We are very far off from that. But we need to add that layer of a human touch on top of that. So therefore, coming back to the first point, the skills are very important, and technology is expected to build that and help that grow. Next is media. Media owners are investing a lot of time to capture the data. This also talks about the privacy. This will also talk about the privacy laws, which are yet to happen. GDPR happened in Europe. It's happened somewhat in some shape or format in US, in India. Indonesia is going to happen soon. So whenever all of you are looking at your media plans, when you're talking about the media to the media owners, please make sure you continuously invest in that data, capturing the data of the user. Media owners are doing it. You need to do it with them. So that first party data, which 6 years back, I would be on the stage and say, data is the new oil. Yes, it is happening now. And it's going to happen even more so as we move forward with the laws, privacy, etc., bundled on top of that. So look at that capability, look at that possibility of first party data, and as you build more and more of that in your campaign, in your business, from a sales perspective, you will realize there is a far more potential of an immediate impact and a business growth that you can see. And last but not the least, measurement. How many in this room know measurement? Please raise your hands. Few. How long has this problem been in the industry? Any guesses? Internet started from a consumer perspective in 1993. From 1993 till now, 2023, measurement has been a problem and will continue to be a problem. Don't mistake that. It is the most difficult thing to solve because every technology has its own terms, its own measurement, its own criterias, and for us to then build all of that together from an attribution perspective, which is the new terminology that we are looking at, to look at it from a growth perspective, putting all these together, connected TV, outdoor, out of home, digital, mobile, PC, it's not going to be easy. But you can do your bit. You can do your bit by making sure you employ the small aspects of measurement in every campaign that you do. Make sure you can track every bit of the dollar that you are spending, whichever platform, whichever technology you do on. Because once you have that, you can then pull all of that together to help solve this ongoing problem. But it's also a great opportunity for employing greater measurement. And that will happen with all these different pieces from DSP, SSP, connected TV, etc., all coming together, programmatic, to be able to fuel that. And that connects back to my earlier point, which is the first party data. If you have the right data, you will be able to measure your campaigns and the success of that campaigns more broadly. So point 1 to 7, all are very connected. They all lead and stem into each other. You have to have the capabilities to build a great campaign, be it on social or on a multi-screen, and to be able to make sure that you are able to use the right technology for the right message, whether it's Web3, AI, and so on and so forth, and collect that data that happens on that to be able to measure so that you can provide the right metric of growth and an ROI for your business. So as I close, what I want you to remember for the next sessions, whenever you're listening into all these discussions, the great panel, the great lineup of speakers that have been lined up, some of the great case studies that will be presented, what I would urge you to keep in mind are these 7 bullets of are the discussions for you adding value into one of these buckets. Because if they are, you can take that as an action back to your business and see how you can develop that going forward. So with that, thank you everybody for coming. I know it takes a lot of effort and time, especially in Jakarta with traffic, to make this come to an event. But without you, the industry doesn't exist. Without you being in the room, the knowledge sharing, the best practices are not taken up and not evolved into something better and bigger, which we see sometimes, a lot of times actually at the Smarties Awards that we have, but also from the growth of the industry as we see forward. I would like to thank all the esteemed speakers who have taken their time to come here and be part of this session, our partners, our presenting partner InMobi, and all of you once again. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. A round of applause, Mr. Rohit.